Hi people, today I'm going to show you how to make a vanity in Revit. So first, this is the one I'm going to be modeling after for the reference of those watching. So I'm going to go to File, New, Family, and then I'm going to click on the Furniture file, and it's going to open up to the Reference Level tab. So first you want to go to Extrusion and draw the top of the vanity and make sure you put in your correct dimensions. I'm just eyeballing because it's just a sample video. Adjust the thickness of the top by dragging these blue arrows up and down, or you can adjust them in the Properties tab under the Constraints section. In the front view, I'm going to make the center drawer where the knee space is, and then the side set of drawers, as well as this end panel that's going to go. So I'm going to go to Create Extrusion, and starting off with the line tool, I'm going to make this end panel and the side drawer. I'm going to make it all in one piece. So that's what I'm doing in the front view, so that I don't have to do any voids later on for this section. So I'm just making a shape like so. And then my line here is kind of crooked, so I am going to straighten that up. And now I'm going to click the check mark and go to the reference level and drag both of these arrows to match the depth of the vanity top. So this is what you should be looking like. Now I'm going to go to the reference level and I'm going to draw the hutch part that is on top of the vanity. So create tab, extrusion, and I'm going to stick with the straight line tool. I'm going to draw it about 6 inches deep. And now I'm going to click the check mark. And I'm going to go to the front view and just drag this up. Okay, and this is what it looks like. However, there are openings, so that is where I'm going to go back to the front view and go to Create, Void Forms, Void Extrusion, and draw openings where you see cut. Okay, so now that I've got a rough sketch of all the openings, I'm actually going to click certain lines to adjust exactly where the openings are closely going to be. Now I'm going to select this line here and copy it over because I want to make a void in this area so that the mirror is not sticking out like the shelves are. And I'm going to press TR on my keyboard to activate the Trim Extend to Corner tool. And I'm going to select these two so that corner can trim there. And then I'm going to get another line and just connect this all to one. And now I'm going to click the check mark. I'm going to go to the reference level and drag this all the way back to the depth of the hutch. And now if you have these orange lines popping up, just click the cut geometry tool, and then you're going to click, well, touch the directions down here. You're going to first select the solid geometry that you want to be cut, which is the hutch, and then you're going to select the void. Okay, so if it wasn't letting you select it at first, and I'm going to go back to show, just drag the void out by selecting it and choosing the back and forth arrows, because if it wasn't letting you select the void secondly, it's probably because it wasn't detecting it. So just drag it out so you can properly detect and select it. So click cut geometry, select the solid first and then the void, and now it is all cut there. When you make the void, don't pull it all the way back. As you can see, it looks like there's no back to it. Just select the void, go to the reference level view, or you can do it in 3D view. But if you want preciseness of how far you're pulling it back, go to the reference level view and drag it. See how it snaps to the back of the hutch? You don't want that. So leave a little bit of space there so that boom, now there's a back to it and it doesn't just look like it's floating in the air. And so the last thing I really need to draw this hutch is just the end cap that you see here on the top part. Do this from the right side view, or you can do it from the left side. I'm going to go to create extrusion, draw a line all the way up, basically just draw a rectangle at first, and then I'm going to select the fillet arc tool and select these two lines and draw an arc. Click the check mark and go to the front view and adjust the thickness like so. And I just realized that these two shelves are actually floating. There's no end cap to it on the other side. So I'm going to adjust the void by selecting it and then press edit extrusion. And I'm just going to extend these lines out more and actually close them off. Like so. So now there is just two floating shelves on the vanity hutch. And then there's a space right here, so I am going to delete this line to actually close that off. And now this is what the vanity looks like, and now you're just missing the mirror. So go to the front view or the reference level, create extrusion, and just draw the mirror. And I'm going to press AL on my keyboard to align it with the end of the shelf. And then I'm going to nudge this line down some because it doesn't completely touch the edge of the hutch, the back of it. Okay, and so now I'm gonna go to materials. Revit automatically comes with the mirror material, so I'm just typing in mirror, and as you can see here, there's different kinds. I just go with the first one, so click the arrow to load it in, and then as you can see, here's a little preview. It actually is reflective. So I'm gonna go to the graphics tab and click use render appearance, and then click apply and OK, and click the check mark, go back to the reference level, and drag that mirror all the way back, and of course make it thin like so. Now for the LED part, if you want to get real technical, you're going to want to make a void inside of this mirror and then go on top of that with an LED material. But if you just want to see how the LED material is applied, here's a quicker way. Go to create extrusion and create that LED strip around the mirror, offset it 1/2 inch. It is rounded a bit, so I'm actually going to do that first by clicking the fillet arc tool, and I'm just going to round the edges 2 inches like so. And now I'm going to offset it 1/2 inch and click check mark and reference level and drag it to sit on top of the mirror, not inset inside of the mirror. Now in reality, this LED strip is going to be inset inside of that mirror, but if you don't feel like creating a void and then going back and doing the LED strip in that void, this is just a quicker way. Press the LED strip that you just did and change the material. In the search bar, type light, and you're gonna see some down here. Keep scrolling until you see glass white high luminance. Click the arrow, scroll down where it says self illumination, and you can click what type of illuminance. Then I'm going to go to the graphics tab, click use render appearance and apply, and this way once you render it, it's going to render like an LED panel. Go to the reference level and go to create extrusion. And this part is very tedious, but it's low-key worth it. So very tiny. Press TL on your keyboard to deactivate or activate thin lines. But when you press TL, you see how it becomes thick, but when I press it again, it becomes thinner. Yeah, you want it to be thin just so you can see a lot better when you're doing this. So just make a really tiny straight line and then click the start in radius arc tool and just go. Just go. I'm just gonna do 1/2 inch, but you basically want to make a tiny ridge like that. And now I'm going to select that and copy it over. And once I get to 5, I'm going to copy the whole set of 5. And it'll just make the copying time much quicker. Okay, so right where this line is, I am going to cut it off. I'm going to select that part and delete it and draw a straight line down like that. And connect that there. So now I'm going to click the check mark, go to the front view, and drag this texture up to the height of the middle drawer. Like so. And now I'm going to go back to the reference level. I'm going to draw a line the same to match this height. I'm going to press Control C, and I'm going to paste that texture that I had copied. And now I'm going to select and press the copy button on the Revit and just copy these over. This section isn't that long, so I'm just going to continue copying with the ones I already selected. And now I'm going to press the straight line tool and end that off and connect it to the other line. Check mark, front view, drag it up, and you can keep it like that. And then you can either download some handles or you can just make your own. These are some handles I just downloaded from Kohler, but you can just slap that on like so. And I just realized there's a toe kick by the drawer end panel. So to do that, I'm going to go to the right view really swiftly. Go to create void forms, void extrusion. I am going to go up 3 inches and back like that much. And press the check mark. Go to the front view and just drag this over. And it's not cutting, so I'm going to go to the view, drag it out a little so I can see, press cut geometry, cut the solid, cut the void, and then I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to cut the texture thing and then cut that. So boom, like that. And then I'm going to go to the front view and adjust these handles to be very even. And this is where I realized that the handles will not align with each other vertically because they are not attached to a flat surface. They're attached to the uneven ridges textures that I made earlier in the video. And so to avoid this, if you download a handle from Kohler and you want it to attach to a flat surface, and that's also what my Revit files moving very slow. Anyways, just hide the fluted texture and then place the handle component on the flat surface of the drawers and then go back and unhide it so that way it'll still be showing. But that is how you can avoid your Revit file moving slow and the handles being able to align vertically. Like so. So this is the final result of the vanity. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very helpful in how to make other types of vanities, but this can also be part 1. Like I can make some other more bespoke vanities in the future for more videos and tutorials. So I hope these videos help out with your projects, whether they are residential or commercial. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and God bless.